The day I died, I saw a dentist. I'm sorry. I should start from the beginning, because I still have all my teeth. First, there was a period of chaos. This is where I was born, embedded in the lining of my mother's A, B, and O. Before I knew the name for fear, I knew the taste of blood. Before I learned to think outside myself, my mother housed an almanac in the roof of her legs. But the others did not bleed. The others, who could not trust an animal that bled for 7 days and did not die. The others watched as their ears spoke to them of prohibition. Shh! 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 She must not touch the earth, they said. She must not touch water. She must not see light, they said. And the braid that tied their bellies together was therefore cut. Was the sound the women made as they moved up into the trees. They flew upwards, and with their bloody nests perched in the branches. She, hemorrhaging alone in the dark for 7 days under a new moon. This is how my world was made. My bloodline, beginning with an entrance into the shade. And from this shadowed mist came chaos. A neutered noun, a yawning, a gap, he and she located on either side of this chasm. From chaos and mist came night, day, darkness, and ether. For their sadness needed a season, a time with an end. Came the moon and sister satellites hung from a tree, counting bloody days down to the separation, the exile. The female extradition counted on their bracelets with 28 beads. The moon and the womb. The dialogue concerning the two chief world systems. My mother was a Neolithic astronomer, a lunisolar mathematician. So I too wanted to be an amniotic physicist when I grew up. I too wanted to control the tide. All blood is menstrual. 3,500 bleeding days bequeathed to me at birth. 16 liters a lifetime lost, the others said, turning all things ripe, rotten, driving dogs mad, dulling sharpened knives, corroding bronze and decaying iron, turning new wine sour. Men and their grapes of wrath. Men and their menstrual mandates. Those that bleed need to be cauterized. But I am a dead girl. And before I bled out. So the stake in my heart did not splinter in cycle. Black glove by my side did not fit inside my womb. The rope did not fray. The knife did not shard. The telephone book to the back of my head, still white or yellow pages, not blood red. I've heard of women bleeding bullets, but the bruises on the roof of my mouth were never given a chance to clot between my legs. It wasn't my time to bleed. The day I died, I saw a dentist. Secondary 1 checkup for teens. I walked through the door and remember thinking, being in a room alone is different from being alone in a room. He asked me to lie down, his hands in my mouth, a mirror on a stick, a cotton swab, a metal twig with a hook. He asks about the bruises on the roof of my mouth, the welts on the back of my throat. I cannot speak. I cannot swallow. With his fingers still in my mouth, he asks, "What have you done to yourself?" I didn't say it was more painful to have my hair pulled out than to have my father's cock in my mouth. So yes, I thought. I have done this to myself. But it's hard to talk when there's something in your mouth. He removes his fingers. He asks me to open wide. He takes some pictures. He tells me I've been a good girl. It's all very familiar. Familial. Except for limited edition fun booklet and the tube of toothpaste. When you die, your teeth stop decaying, so there was no need for the toothpaste. "40,000 flat-screen murders before my own. But of all the women I ever saw bleed, not one drop was menstrual. I'd like to think my father decided on a sky burial, an offering for the carrion birds, an instructional teaching on the impermanence of life. I always thought he would stop when I started to bleed. But that dentist has my dental records. And I still have all my teeth.